I took a lot of notes. Did you take any notes?
No, I took no notes.
Great.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have, even if I'd taken a lot of
That's
notes, it would be
episode
less than
one.
half of that.
That's
What?
episode one.
All right. Good.
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot going on in this episode.
There is. What are we calling this podcast?
Okay, I have four ideas.
Okay.
The last one, actually, the third one. Okay, actually, I have one idea. Um, I think we should call it Comfort Watch Weekly.
Okay. Comfort Watch. First question. Is anyone else called Comfort Watch Weekly? Great. Okay.
No, no one is. The other ideas that I had that I don't think are as good. Rewatch rituals, which is quite difficult to say. Like the Rural Juror. Did you ever watch that show?
It rings a bell, but I can't bring it to
It's
mind now.
from what's the show with Liz Lemon? 30 Rock. It's from
Oh,
30 Rock. And that blonde lady used to be in that show, The Rural Juror.
I'm never going to live that down.
No.
I like 30 Rock.
Comfort Watch Weekly.
All right. If that's what you're into, that's what we are.
Rewatch Retreat.
Oh, no, that sounds like, no.
But
It's about it's about being comfortable. It's about chucking on your PJ pants and
yeah.
which I may or may not be wearing right now. And
I hope you are. Okay, so this is a podcast where we recap some number of episodes of a known comfort show. And the one that we've decided to start with is which?
Superstore.
I guess let's just maybe we just start. It's difficult to recap a pilot, I think, because what we're doing is meeting all of the characters, right? And I think
and not even in this first one, like because it's a half-hour show.
Yeah, it's
which
20
is
minutes. It's 20 minutes.
That's because you got to take the ads out.
Yeah. Well, did you watch the ads? Like, why was yours a half hour?
No.
No one's watching ads, Tom.
I'm just talking. You are watching ads if you're on my Netflix subscription, but thankfully we were watching on Binge.
Great.
I like TV shows that are short because then I can put them back down. If I like an hour, sometimes is too much, and like some of these shows that go for like 58 minutes and like 90 minutes, sometimes it's too much, and I feel bad for wasting that much time sometimes because I've got other things to do.
Interesting. Say more about how you feel bad about wasting that much time.
Maybe I don't feel bad, but I've got to fit it in, and I end up staying up too late, not getting my sleep, getting up too early. I could be doing other things with the early time, like I don't know, exercising and not being comfortable when watching television. But sometimes there's a show I've just got to watch.
Yeah.
Like there's I got stuck on Blue-Eyed Samurai. It's really good. It's gory and it's a cartoon and it's on Netflix. It's compelling watching though. Anyway, no.
We watch it for this show. I'm not gonna.
I wouldn't call it comfort watching. It's toxic. It's not something you'd have on the background. It's one of those ones you got to concentrate on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found myself watching that at like midnight and then not sleeping and waking up at like 4:30 and getting an hour in before everyone else got up.
Oh, wow.
It's not healthy.
No.
So Superstore is not that.
No. Okay. So we start with we're in a Superstore, we're in like a Target, we're in a Kmart, we're in a whatever we're calling it. And Superstores, I will say, I'm Canadian, but the American Superstore is, I think, even a different beast to the Australian one.
Oh, but it's totally a thing, yeah. I mean, we've got Costco's now.
Yeah, we do.
I've been to one. I found it vaguely exciting and equal amounts depressing.
Yeah, it's real overwhelming.
It can be. And
David
also, so,
Sedaris, who's one of my favorite writers, describes a Costco as like one of those spaces that has its own weather.
oh
Like it's
yeah, for
just
sure.
so vast. But the thing I really like about Superstore is all the vignettes. Like it really gives you these little stories as you go along, and I feel like it gives you the understanding that all these things are happening at the same time. At the very beginning of episode one, we meet this like skeevy guy who's buying an $8 engagement ring for his future fiance, right?
Oh
And we
yo.
meet the woman who we will learn is the main character of the show. And she's like lightly throwing shade and, oh, I wouldn't call this jewelry, and like, oh, I wouldn't call this a diamond, that sort of thing. And then we go straight into Dina interviewing Jonah, right?
Yeah,
And
just like in the outdoor furniture section of the superstore, like not in an
I
office.
think that's how they do it. Like in McDonald's, when you go for an interview, I've seen like people being interviewed in the restaurant part of McDonald's.
Oh, saves you building an office.
I guess, but like I don't even know if they have an office. But so they're just in there in like on the picnic table, and Dina is like really, really friendly and creepy. No?
Oh, she's stealing every scene. She's the
Yeah.
character to watch,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
as
She
you go
wins. I
through.
love when she goes, and you are heterosexual, right? And he goes, are you allowed to ask me that? And she's like, no.
She
She's
knows all the
wonderful.
rules. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like we get Jonah and Amy, and he's what are you thinking about Jonah?
I don't. That's probably where I ran into my first problem with the show. Is I don't know where Jonah's character sits. You don't get a lot of backstory, and I'm guessing that happens over what 6 seasons.
Yeah.
But Jonah is clearly what young in his 20s, maybe not
Yeah.
long out of college,
Mm,
perhaps.
mm.
Um, I think you find out he's been away in like the second or third episode, like he's been overseas, some Peace Corps thing or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Really cute face, really annoying personality.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not endearing at all.
No. He's a mansplainer. He puts his foot in his mouth, and like I counted in this episode alone, he tries to like go back to her and like explain himself 4 different times, and
He knows
it's
he's doing
like
it, and
he
he
just
knows it's wrong.
centers himself in everything.
He can't help himself.
Yeah.
He's one of these characters who knows all the rules and the right way of doing things, but his mouth runs away with him, and
Mm,
then he's got to backtrack all the time. Yeah, he
yeah, so
makes me uncomfortable because I probably see a little bit too much of myself in that.
interesting.
Like
Got
you just
So, like, they're in that very first meeting with him and the manager, the pregnant girl comes over and asks the manager, who he's like trying to hit on at this point, to like if she can have a break. And the manager's like, yeah. And he has just said to the manager, oh, like, I know it's probably surprising that someone like me is working in a place like this. And she just like shuts him down. Like, she's like,
so
you might want to just like not let the other employees know that you think you're better than them, because it's like a bit condescending. I was like,
yeah,
Amy is me in this situation.
right.
Amy is me. Oh my god, and Jonah is you.
No, 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 no.
Tell us about when you went to the Peace Corps.
I did take some school supplies to a village in Borneo once.
Did
That's as
anybody
close as
ask
I
you to
get.
do that?
Oh yeah, no, we were asked. We were camping on their lawn.
Aw, that's nice. And so we kind of go through and we meet Mateo, who is also a new employee that day, and he's like really, really like, I am gonna kill it at this job at the superstore. Like he's very
Oh, like
competitive with Jonah.
you just get this little taste of Mateo, and you know that his character's just going to go and ramp up and get better and better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Well, at least I hope it does.
there's no way of knowing. And then now it's back on binge again, so I'm into it. We meet Glenn, right, in the staff meeting, and he's trying to bring the Bible into the meeting. And Dina's like, I've told you before, Glenn. So it's obvious to me that like Glenn is obviously the boss of, the oldest, whitest man in the show is the boss of the superstore. And then Dina seems to be like the right hand woman, but she's like, I've told you before, we're not talking about God in the break room. And she's like, my Bible is the employee code of conduct.
Those
So
two
we're like,
riffing off each other are
yeah,
incredible.
yeah, we love Dina, and she's scary. But I think that's the point. We meet Garrett,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm just here to do the bare minimum. He's like, a side sort of like sly voice that's like being sarcastic in the sidelines, which I enjoy.
Yeah, he's the cool guy, and he's got more than one interesting element. Like
Yes.
he can play all the cards if he needs to. He's in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
He's African American. He can just keep and uses all of those to his advantage in very, very funny ways.
Yeah, he's good. And he's the narrator, really, of the whole show. Like, he does the announcements over the PA at the shop, but, like, at the very beginning, it's his voice that we hear first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't
he's
tweet
like
to
the
that.
American Superstore. And he's like, like waxing poetic about that. So yeah, he seems like almost like an omniscient sort of character.
He's kind of like the voice of reason in a very sarcastic way.
Which we love.
It sets the tone for the show, really.
Yeah, we love that. Amy then makes Jonah discount the electronics by 25%. And then do you remember what happens after that?
He wasn't paying attention. He hits all the wrong buttons, and he discounts everything in the store to 25 cents.
Yeah, and he's also looking at her starry-eyed already.
Yeah,
Like,
just like,
she's explaining like how to work the gun to change the price, and he's like not even listening, and he's just looking at her like with love heart eyes, and I'm like, Jonah, it's not gonna happen, buddy. Like, okay, that main manager girl is gorgeous. Any guy is gonna be like, into her.
yeah.
And Jonah obviously thinks he has a chance.
Well, I think Jonah probably thinks he has a chance with everyone because he's cute. He's a cute guy.
He is.
He's probably been told that his whole life.
Annoying personality.
Sure.
Yeah, it's an affliction. So then the girl that's pregnant, we find out that her name is Cheyenne, and she seems quite young.
Yeah, she's 19. She's young. I wouldn't say she was stupid.
No.
They try and play her off as not being super educated, maybe, but she's not dumb.
No, she's just been
falls to
ditzy.
her awesome boyfriend, Bo.
Well, yeah, spoiler, we didn't know, but Bo, the skeevy guy at the beginning, later turns out he's going to propose to her. But so Cheyenne and Amy seem to have like a bit of a big sister, little sister relationship. Maybe Bo did propose already. I'm not sure. Yeah, he must have.
He does right at the start.
Yeah. And so what are your thoughts on how do you think that main manager chick feels about marriage and Cheyenne getting married? What are your thoughts?
So we find out, and that's not a major spoiler because it happens very early in the episode, that she's been there for 11 years or something? 12 years. So you instantly get like shop mom vibes. She's trying to look after everybody. She's a very good manager, but she is trying to sort of help with relationships as well, where she can.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to look after Cheyenne. She wants to correct Jonah. She says
to Cheyenne, like, don't do anything you might regret for the rest of your life.
It's like her opinions are very thinly veiled.
Yeah. So then they're like, she's sort of saying, Cheyenne, don't ruin the rest of your whole life. And then there's this huge rush of people like rushing by with their carts full of electronics. And what has happened is Jonah was supposed to discount everything by 25%, but instead he discounted everything to 25 cents. So there's just this like mad rush.
Hit one button wrong and completely ruined it. thought he was doing a great thing. He's got this big grin. I figured it out. Check me
Yeah.
out. It's like there was
Ugh.
nothing to figure out if he listened the first time.
And like when he like put his hand, like he just is that like give me affirmation for doing like the bare minimum. I figured
I
it
can't
out.
agree more.
Like,
Yeah,
oh
no.
my God, good boy. Are you
Yeah.
2 years old? But when he does that, he's trying to impress the manager, but the person that actually sees him and thinks he's waving and telling her is
So
Dina.
funny.
And then
Dina is
Dina is like, hoo, and she's into it. So then there's like, they have to have a meeting. They're back in the break room and Glenn's about to give them all shit for, whoever messed this up. And Jonah says to Garrett, do they allow supervisors to date employees? Or
Yep.
do they allow supervisors, to date employees?
Yeah, and Dina's sitting right behind him.
And Dina's like,
Yeah.
yes. She is like, A, I would hit that. And B, he's into me. So she's killing it. So then, like, Jonah then this is his peak annoying bit, I think, in this episode. Like, he's
Okay.
already messed up 3 big things on his first day. And then he's like following
Great
Amy
line.
around being like, we should be able to have fun at work. Shouldn't we be able to have some fun at work? And I'm like, bro, are you at all trying to make a good impression?
I'm sure he would have just got fired anywhere else.
Yes, he would have.
It's
And
a
then-
TV show. They can't just fire him on the first day. And but the front on this guy, unbelievable.
I know, but then how about when he's like, I just think it's important to be able to find beauty in everyday moments. And then he throws the plastic bag on the floor. And she's like, wow, my mind is blown. That was stunning.
For 1 second, just before it hits the floor, it does sort of drift sideways and back again. You go, oh yeah,
Stop
and then
it.
she just shuts it.
Yeah. She's not, I wrote here, Amy's not having it.
No,
She's
no.
not
That
interested.
scene introduces one of my favorite characters, old guy on the checkout. Never says anything. He's the best.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know who we're talking about. I'll
Look,
pay more
I
attention
just started
to him.
watching background characters,
Yeah.
and because they, little sidebar, every time they've got to switch from one scene to another, they do a little vignette down one of the aisles,
Yeah.
and it might be people in America do weird things in their stores.
Mm.
Like, I don't imagine it's not real. There's
No,
like a
it's
kid's
real.
get pulled up
That's
a
why
potty and-
it's
yeah.
yeah.
There's an
a
old
little girl
couple
having like a
dancing.
hottie. There's those 2 people crashing their buggies together because they're fighting. Like nobody wants
Like
to let the other
road
person by.
rage. Yeah, those moments are great. They
Yeah.
really keep the show flowing, actually.
I think so too. And so then Mateo comes over and he's like, this is what I've been doing. I've like recategorized all the inventory and I've done this and this and this. But what he's actually doing is dobbing on Jonah, who's outside in the parking lot, which is to say Capac, playing bumper cars.
Oh, no, can you do that again?
When my little one was my big one was learning how to talk, we went to Canada for a visit and he was just in the car seat on his own in the back seat talking to himself. And he has an Australian accent, obviously. And I heard him going, parking lot, Kappa. And then he goes, we in the Kappa.
What kind
So-
of bogan are you racing?
Oh, we in a cat pack. It was just so cute. He was like 2 years old. We were dying. So they're in the cat pack and they're playing bumper cars. And she's like, what are you trying to get fired? What if Glenn sees you? And Glenn's out there too. And they're all just like trying to collect all the carts up. And I'm like, this guy should be getting fired. But this allows Amy to identify the dichotomy at the heart of this episode, says the woman who used to be an English teacher.
Okay.
He's the fun guy and she's the stick in the mud.
Well, she has to be. She's
Yeah.
the supervisor. He's the new guy. He doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah. But she's
Except
always
probably not
had
stuff
to
up
be.
as much. Yeah.
She's always had to be because I think maybe she got married too young. Not all of us. I know. Anyway, But then, so
Oh,
she's like
okay.
super annoyed with this guy, but then all of a sudden she's pouring her heart out,
Well,
right?
she
She's
pushes
like,
him and he smashes into a car. He's sat
yeah,
in a trolley and she
right.
pushes him
Yeah.
and he goes, I can't stop, smashes into presumably somebody's car.
Somebody's car.
And then it becomes sort of like, oh, look, we can all make mistakes because she does that in a moment of frustration. She's not
You're right.
concentrating. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
right.
that's sort of the crux of the episode, sort of,
Yeah.
where they
But
sort of
then
start
she
seeing eye
goes
to
to
eye a bit.
apologize and for losing her control, and she opens up about how miserable her life is. She says every day is the same. Sometimes it's pretty hard to find moments of beauty. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Aw, is it hard being stunning? Is that hard for you?"
Being America Ferrera. No, it must be hard. It must be
Yeah.
hard.
Hmm. And so then Mateo comes back and he's brown nosing some more. And then all of a sudden there's a shooter, which, like, this must happen a couple times a week in a big box store in America.
Nobody looks as shocked as I would be.
No, no.
No.
Dina army crawls away saying, "This is what we've been training for." So she doesn't realize that the shooter is Bo and he's proposing with what? A flash mob.
A flash mob. It
Yeah.
was good. I like the flash mob. I was impressed with that he could actually pull that together.
He's put some effort in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like probably the bare minimum. It
Yeah.
looks like he learnt the moves off them, not the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he hired the flash mob because he does
Oh,
like music. So maybe he was just like, "Can you guys come and do this?" Maybe he didn't like choreograph the whole thing, is what I'm
I bet he
saying.
spent more than $10 on it if he hired all those people, though.
I know,
Like,
but I think later we learn that that's sort of his MO. Like
oh,
he's just
okay.
like, all I care about is the music. Because then he's like, I am looking for representation. I'm a musician. I'm also a model. He's
He
so
says that at the
gross.
end, doesn't he?
He's got that like little strawberry blonde mustache.
Look, I have never, ever figured out why people think that's a thing. Like mustaches in general, look, if you're going to do it properly. Don't grow a
Like
wispy
a
one.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah. Yeah, like a Tom
Yeah.
Selleck.
Yeah.
You know,
But I feel like Bo is just like, he just hasn't grown old enough to grow a mustache, like a
or that, yeah.
proper mustache. He's just really,
I
really
mean,
young
he's
still.
knocked up his teenage girlfriend and
Yeah.
he's trying to figure that out. And
Yeah.
he proposes because his dad says he has to.
Dad says he has to.
And he's totally in love, yo.
Yeah. Totally in love. So Dina, who hasn't realized this is a proposal, shuts the lights off. And what has happened?
Oh, okay. And like at the time I thought, wow, that's really cool because they did this lovely shot from the ground up, nice wide shot, and Jonah presumably has covered the ceiling in glow in the dark stars, which Amy, as
Yes.
we found out her. No, we haven't yet found out her name.
Not yet. We're about to. So thanks for
Okay.
spoiling that as well.
Okay. There's going to be a spoiler warning at the start of this episode.
Yeah, the
It's a
whole
recap.
episode
You
is a
can't not do
spoiler.
it. Yeah. But lovely supervisor lady had previously said when she's talking about her day being the same over and over again, the example she uses is that she puts out stars for back to school,
Yeah.
and then when they don't sell, she puts them back in storage, and she's done that 12 times.
Yeah, then it's
And then it's Halloween.
then it's Thanksgiving, then it's
Christmas,
So
and then it's
this never ending.
And so he's gone, I'll do something different with these stars and put them all over the ceiling. I don't know how he did that without anyone noticing.
Has
It's
he
one
paid
day.
for those stars?
Oh, no. Oh, well, yeah, probably because he made them all 25 cents.
No, I don't know. He was just discounting electronics though. But also, how high do you think the ceilings are in a big box store? Like they would be
they've gotta
at
be-
least 5 meters.
At least, probably
Yeah.
more closer to 8.
Yeah.
Like Costco there, you can have weather, but
Yeah.
that store looks more like a big Kmart.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably 5 meters. I'll
He
give you
had
5. Yeah.
really good coverage. Like he used all of those glow in the
He
dark
must be a
stars.
ninja to like throw the stars up and have them stick in the ceiling. Like he's
Yeah.
used them, done them like ninja stars, because there is no way. While also having a jousting tournament in the car park
Yeah.
in shopping
Cat.
parks and stuff and everything else up during the day, he's found
Yeah.
time to stick thousands. It's not a small amount. Thousands of stars covered the whole ceiling of the shop.
Yeah.
It's a lovely shot and it's a really nice moment. It's
Yeah.
just a little implausible. But it's TV. Let's suspend disbelief.
Yeah. So she goes, oh, what's this? And he goes, a moment of beauty. And that's when I wanted to punch him in the face.
Okay. Look, this is a pilot.
Yeah.
They're going to cram. You don't know if you've got the show booked at all. Like, let's shoot a pilot. So they chuck everything at the wall for the pilots.
Yeah.
If you get a great pilot, it's pretty rare that it doesn't have just something silly or over the top or something that doesn't quite work in it.
But I feel like they
this
did
isn't
a really
bad pilot though.
Good job, yeah. Like they allowed things to happen, and we had all of this like expository stuff happening, but it didn't
showed
feel
a clear
like
vision.
This is this. This is this. This is this. It was just. But at this point, sort of, Dana still doesn't know it was a fake robbery. Like until they've gone out there, all like, congratulations, Cheyenne, congratulations, and she's still like. You knew you're never in
Army
danger.
crawled off to the like the break room to call the police, and she's trying to call in SWAT and stuff, and they're just not coming. Like
no,
they do turn up at the end, but they're not coming quick enough for Dana.
Well, they probably have many other shootings to attend.
It's sad because it's true.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So then the floor manager starts to leave. Jonah chases after her, tries to explain himself again for the 4th time this episode. You know, so what I was trying to do was blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, okay. And then she tells him her name, which is
Amy. I'm sorry.
Amy.
It's Amy. I'm going to bleep it earlier. I'll bleep it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And he says, nice to meet you, Amy. And as she leaves, she puts on a wedding ring.
That was interesting. Like she looks up at the stars because she's been there all day. It's nighttime.
Yeah.
And she puts on her wedding ring. And at that moment, I was wondering, like, is her husband dead? Like, or she doesn't want people to know she's married? I really couldn't figure that out, what the motivation was for not wearing the ring.
It could also be like she doesn't like, because she wears different name tags every few minutes because she doesn't like, because he was like, oh, whatever, Ramona or whatever, because that's what her name tag said. And she's like, no, Ramona's not my name. I just don't like people knowing my name. But then when Cheyenne was showing her the ring, Cheyenne said, oh, I wish we could wear jewelry in the store.
Oh, okay.
And so then
I missed that bit.
She put her wedding ring on. I missed it too. I only got that when I watched it again. But she put it on and then she's off to wherever she's going. So it feels like these people have their real like store life and their outside life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an ensemble cast in almost like a bottle episode because everything happens within the store. Yeah. Cool. And I guess she's looking at the stars because of the star motif. It could be just that simple. I was probably reading too much into it. You did get like a real gloss through everybody in the first episode, and it really did focus on the 3 main characters, maybe.
Yeah.
Dina and Jonah and Amy.
Yeah.
But you got a gloss through everybody.
Like all that,
which is amazing to pack into.
Minutes.
Yeah, to pack into that. It was. Yeah. I think our recap's been longer than that.
Well, talk a lot of shit, Tom. That's why we like having podcasts. So anyway, that's what happened in episode 1. We like you're sort of saying, yeah, okay. You're like, I don't know if it's going to be a comfort show for me. And it's really interesting. I think it'll be interesting to kind of try and figure out what makes a comfort show. Like, what is it about these shows that we find comforting, that we like
Okay.
want to watch again and again?
Here's a question. When did you find Superstore? Like, what
like
stage
several
were you at
years
to
ago.
watch it? But what was going on where you went, oh, I'm going to watch this and I'm going to keep watching this? Did you just find it randomly or?
Yeah, I found it randomly.
Yeah.
When it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of trouble starting new shows. I'm autistic and I have ADHD, and so I really want to start a new thing, but I really have a lot of trouble doing that, deciding what I want to watch. And like, then I'm like, what if I don't like it? As though it's like a lifelong commitment. But I just liked it because I like shows that are like kind of shot brightly. Like I don't like dark shows, like lighting wise. And I like shows that are funny, and I like awkward shows. So I think I was like, oh, this might be a bit like The Office or something. Where
Okay.
it's like all these weird people in this weird like microcosm. And the thing that I think really works about this and like about The Office is that it is like, it's over the top, but it is like so spot on of like what this environment is like.
I think, yeah, absolutely. I enjoy awkward shows less. I didn't find this too awkward.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
I know. Well, I think
yeah.
we
I
wrap
was
it
sort
up.
of ready to watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've watched the whole thing, so I went, oh, okay, maybe there's a bit more to this. And on the rewatch, my rewatch, yeah, I went in with sort of okay, let's give this a go.
Okay, Martha's forcing me to watch this.
No, it wasn't for.
Fine.
I don't do much I don't want to do. No. Okay, but things that I found, I agree with you. I like a bright show where I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
More importantly, or equally as importantly, I need the sound to be good.
Oh.
I actually need to be able to hear what's happening. I'm not going to watch it with subtitles.
No.
Because my dyslexia and dysgraphia does not help. Like there's people who watch shows with subtitles on because they're like, oh, I find it comforting. I can follow what's going on better. If it does not sound good, it's not going to work for me. Yeah. So I like this. Your network TV sitcom, generally you can hear every word.
Yeah.
So that worked really well for me. I did like it's very blue. It's the corporate colors.
Yeah.
At some point, I found it a bit distracting just how blue everything was.
That's interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah. Do you know what else there is a lot of in this show actually is product placement? There's a lot of like LaCroix, and you can see LaCroix is like a bubbly water brand. Okay. And you can see what brand it is. And like later they come out holding like a Vitamix and you can see the brand. Like there's a lot, and I don't know if that was like a choice, like, you know,
network television would have gone, we're doing this store. How many advertising dollars can we get?
Yeah. Sure. So it's really interesting. Like, so I wrote down the product placement. The one I noticed in this episode is LaCroix, and LaCroix's in many episodes, but there are lots of other, you know, it's very obvious that this is like, we want you to see this Vitamix that like this person's holding, as opposed to like in this episode when Garrett was just holding like that plain box.
Yeah. So, well, I was trying to work out how many of the products. So I was looking for their own brand products because they have some of those through the
Halo
subsequent
brand.
Episodes. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. Halo brand, right? It's very...
And I don't think we've had it because they say have a heavenly day. So yes, I don't think they've had one of those yet. But it's so creepy, like especially with the whole America situation. It's like, ugh, like I wouldn't go in there deliberately because I would be like, well, this store is definitely like affiliated with like evangelicals. I'm just going to shop elsewhere.
Right. Oh yeah, there's that.
Mm.
Because a lot of those chain stores are
Ugh.
in America. Like some of the fast food ones. Is
Yeah.
Walmart? Walmart?
I don't know. It's the Walton family, but I imagine that I mean, listen, probably.
Yeah, we're going to go with that.
Yeah.
They're all religious zealots. Um,
Ugh.
the other thing that I couldn't get past
Hmm.
is their logo, Cloud9,
Yep.
because there's a company here in Australia that has basically stolen it.
Ah.
Cloud9 smoke shops throughout
Yes.
Australia.
Yes, 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 yes.
Wondering if they had to pay NBC for that.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what happens in Australia, Tom.
Clearly. They
Yeah.
had an internet. It's like it's not a small chain. And having a quick Google, it's not the only Cloud9 vape shop. There's hundreds of them across America as well.
Yeah.
Not the same company,
Exactly
different
the same.
logos and stuff, but they all call themselves Cloud9. It's a
Hmm.
pretty common name for a smoke shop.
Well, I think they're all going to be shutting soon because I think they're like making vapes illegal. So they won't have that problem anymore. Or like you have to
Yeah,
get them from a chemist.
they'll pivot for like a couple of years and sell incense and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still get hookah pipes. You can probably get hookah pipes as well. But you can
Oh
get,
my goodness.
you can still get all that stuff.
Excellent.
But yeah, look, I enjoyed Superstore. I liked the first episode so much. I watched 4 more, and they got better.
Yeah,
They got a lot better.
Yeah, they did. So it's as you say, there's sort of like those kind of like day in the life, and then there's ones that, well, you're gonna have to come back and listen to episode 2 because we're gonna tell you all about episode 2 in episode 2,
Right,
listener.
okay. Let's do that. Oh, me too.
If you don't want to take notes, I'll just carry this podcast. I'm kidding. No, I mean it. If you don't want to take notes, you don't have to take notes. That's just my style.
Well, I find myself wanting to Wikipedia and do deep dive stuff. What if I sort of do the IMDb stuff instead of making our listener listen to go and look stuff up for themselves? That's not what they're here for. They're here for the recap, and so that they can comfort watch. Like you say, we're doing a public service.
Yeah.
I'll do the work and say, like, played by this person. And I won't give you a vague thing. I'll say, no, you might have seen this person in that thing. And, really get into the nitty gritty of it because I like to do that.
Yeah, well, because I wanted to know, is Garrett's character in a wheelchair in real life? And he isn't, which I feel like if they were making this show now, they would have gotten an actor who does use a wheelchair in real life.
Yeah.
Because like, surely, you know what I mean? Like,
well, you have
to. Yeah.
Well, you can. Actually, that's the thing. You can do that.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. But
unless there was a real sort of production problem that you couldn't get around, like, I don't know, they don't have wheelchair access. Not a thing, but I'm struggling to think why they wouldn't.
Well, yeah, and I feel. Oh, hello, my dog's here. I feel
all I can see is a tail, and it looks like you've turned on a weird fan.
Can you say hello? No. I feel like it does, if they went to like an award show and they're all there and he's standing, it's like, I just feel like it would, it's not like you couldn't find an actor who does use a wheelchair that you could have hired. So I feel like, this was made, I don't even know when, but before 2020.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's like 2016 or something, isn't it?
Yeah. So I feel like it definitely they would do it differently now. But yeah, that kind of stuff, that's what I look up as like, oh, who's
2015 to 2021.
yeah. What? My dog wants to go outside, I think.
Okay, well, look, maybe we'll leave it there
Yeah.
for today. I'm going to say thank you for Superstore. Superstore is an awesome show, and we're going to be here for at least 6 episodes.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. And then, like, the idea for this podcast is to go to something else that's comfortable.
Yeah.
We haven't sorted out anything in the way of getting in touch with us. So hold on to whatever you think is comfortable. but you'll be able to tell us, you'll be able to give us suggestions later.
That is not the tagline for this show.
Hold on to what is comfortable. But yeah, I'm guessing we'll be able to take suggestions a little bit later, but this is our pilot episode. Hopefully
Yes.
you got enough of Tom and Martha, or Martha and Tom. There's no.
I prefer Tom and Martha.
Oh, do you? Okay. I'm glad you said that. All right,
There.
and catch you later for now.
See you later.
Car park.